Going on. I want to wish everybody a happy Labor Day weekend. I hope your weekend is going well. I decided, hey, why not do a crypto video, a deep dive on what to expect this month, right? It's been a while since I've done one of those long bangers, right? And this is going to be a long video because I'm going to unpack my thoughts because with what is going on, what possibly could go on this month and definitely for the rest of the year, okay? Now, looking at some of the biggest gainers, these are a bunch of tokens I don't know, a bunch of meme coins that probably just came out within the last month or so. No clue, but I noticed Velis. I'm surprised that I don't have it hearted. Velis has gone up 11%. Now, you guys know I was talking about Velis last year a lot, right? Which is a hybrid blockchain that my cousin E brought up to me. He's been in crypto just as long as I have, but he's very knowledgeable. He's an engineer, highly educated guy, right? Bad Idea AI is an AI that's two that I should be looking at. They have supposedly affiliations with Shiba Inu. Cartsy is up 9%. That's a coin I've talked a little bit about too in the past. SafeMoon, I'm not going to heart that. SafeMoon is up 9%. That was a project I talked about back in April of 2021. I thought, like many people, SafeMoon was the first Shiba Inu before Shiba Inu. With the buzz that SafeMoon had, SafeMoon also started the trend setting of reflections. However, SafeMoon has been plagued from the beginning by just bad leadership and just people that don't know what they're doing and greed and such. Luckily for me, and I'm not saying this to brag, but I sold SafeMoon at the top. I mean, I still own 10%. But honestly, guys, I check SafeMoon's Reddit every now and then just to see what's going on. And SafeMoon has a very strong community that are still in it, right? However, SafeMoon has had such negative publicity, especially with, like I said, the bad management, CoffeeZilla exposing the incompetency of the SafeMoon leadership and whatnot, right? Do I think that SafeMoon has a future? I think that the next bull run, SafeMoon will do very well. I don't know if it'll reach its previous all-time highs. I mean, technically it already has because it deleted a bunch of zeros. But can SafeMoon go back to $1 billion market cap or whatever it was at its peak? It possibly could. My thing is, you guys know I'm not a financial advisor, but if SafeMoon does go back to its previous all-time high, I'm selling. Now, why is Velis up nearly 12%? Well, Velis, I went on their Twitter, and they're having a leadership change. The CEO stepped down, and the creator of Velis is going to be at the helm for this project again, right? Now, this is one of these projects, guys, that from a tech aspect, they have a partnership already with Ferrari. And once again, this is all stuff that I talked about a year and a half ago or so. I've been talking about this project. And so with the fact that Velis is now doing a leadership change where Farkad Shluglovov, and I'm butchering his name, has stepped down, and now Alex is going to be taken over. That is a good sign for them, okay? That the founders is at the helm of the project, because he is the guy that, has a good track record in crypto, and we'll see what will happen, right? So guys, let's take a quick look at the Fear to Greed Index. Guys, a couple months ago we were in the low 60s. Now we're in the 30s last time I checked. And the Fear to Greed Index, for those who don't know, or for those who do know, we know that this kind of gauges the market sentiment, right? So we're at a 35. And right now, really, in the markets, there's not really much going on. Besides the fact that Ben Armstrong, that was the major news last week, and the ETF news, which I did talk about publicly, right? I know people say, oh, you didn't really talk about that on Patreon. I did talk about that publicly on my YouTube channel. But I wanted to talk about what to expect for September, guys. Now, here's a historical BTC performance in September. And the last time we had a green month was back in 2016, right? If you look at the BTC performance, typically in the last 12 years, we've only had 4 green Septembers historically. 2012, amazing. 2013, meh. 2015, 2016, all right, 6%. It's nothing crazy. 22% is crazy. This was back in the days when Bitcoin was, $100 and you know what I'm saying? Then $50, $200, $500 when it did those crazy price fluctuations during those early years of Bitcoin, right? Last year we were at 3%. And you know what, guys? I am expecting a red month for BTC as well. And I know a lot of people say, well, the historical performance is not always an indicator of the future. I agree. However, when I look at this from a logical standpoint, that the last 6 years have been in the red, it's safe to assume that we will be in the red as well, considering that there's no catalyst really that'll bring in more money. I mean, you just had the ETF news be announced. That really didn't do much. You had the fact that a couple months ago, Ripple won their case. That didn't really do much, okay? And retail money is not going to come in until big money is going to come in. That's just the unfortunate situation. So let's talk about the catalyst of what could start the next bull market, right? Because that's something that I always like to talk about, is catalysts and what can transpire in regards to this. Now, I always say the major factor for a super cycle catalyst is going to be mass adoption. So what does that mean? It means when you have 75 or 80% of people utilizing crypto. And I think that's where we're headed to within the next, 2 to 5 years, maybe 10, because of the fact that with CBDCs coming in, everything is going to be digital. I was just watching a little clip of a pastor or preacher, I don't know his name, who was at a baseball stadium, and he was trying to get into the stadium, and they were telling him that he can't use cash. He can only use credit cards, okay? So let that sink in. Now, the catalyst for the next bull run, this is by the Daily Hodl. They're saying that ETF is the first driver to do so. And now BlackRock has decided to want some. Now, we know that BlackRock is nearly a $10 trillion asset manager. Last time I checked was about 8.9 trillion, closer to 9 than 10 trillion. Last time I checked. I could be wrong, though. What does that mean? Well, it means that BlackRock has a lot of bread, okay? The halvening. This is the biggest one. This is where a lot of your favorite YouTubers are looking at, because historically, Bitcoin will undergo the 4-year cycle, or the halvening as it's commonly known. This is when the block reward issues to miners is reduced in half. I've explained that already in numerous videos. And so by basically lowering the reduction in new supply, it won't have a major effect on the market. $500,000 of BTC being sold every hour is easily absorbed. The real significance of the halving lies in the psychological effects that it exerts. For another thing, the reduced issuance rate reinforces the scarcity meme. So the halvening is basically brings in that FOMO aspect of Bitcoin, right? And if I'm not mistaken, I believe at this point, 80 or 90% of all Bitcoin that can be mined has already been possibly mined. Well, I forgot the exact number, but I do know it's at least 80%, at least. Regulation. Now, this is going to be a catalyst as well. I don't think we're going to see regulation for another year or two. That's just my opinion. Because Gary Gensler stayed playing these Hunger Games when it comes to crypto, okay? And the fact of the matter is that America is behind when it comes to regulation, and that they're pussyfooting around the issue. It just goes to show. But these are the catalysts that they're telling to watch out for, and I totally agree. The one that I would also add is massive adoption, and I think that one, from looking at it, will happen because of a black swan event, right? And I do believe that CBDCs is part of that, meaning that there'll be some sort of an event that'll force people to go from, the traditional banking that they're used to CBDCs and crypto. And the reality is that guys, I've been showing you evidence for the last year of bank runs and bank failures. And I think that next year is going to continue to get worse. Okay. So really now, the question is, where do I see BTC going this month? Once again, guys, nobody knows, right? People may say that they know. With the ETF news, it's great. JP Morgan analysts foresee ETF's approval. The question isn't if they'll get approved now. The question is when, right? There are people that are hopeful as soon as October. I don't think we'll see ETF approval until next year. And I think that once we see that happening, that's going to be a catalyst. But this is good news. So where do I see Bitcoin ending up this month? I'm still seeing that, hey, listen, I'm still expecting a 20,000 BTC at this month, right? And I would be shocked if we're above, if we go back to 30,000 or higher, great. But honestly, the fact that we've been going sideways for so long and that we haven't gone to the upside, that tells me, we're probably gonna end up going to 23,000, possibly 20,000. Okay. Last time I said 25K, a week later it happened when we were at 29K. But I do expect some more downside. And so for me personally, I look at that as an opportunity to make sure that you have a little bit of dry powder on the side. And look at Veles now, guys. I remember I was talking about Veles when it was 70 or 30 cents. Now it's half a penny. The projects that I'm looking at, I'm always got my eyes open on XRP. I'm looking at ADA, right? Solana is one I'm looking at too. Remember, guys, Solana went down to $7-8, and I was telling you guys, see, I was greedy. I was hoping for it to go to 5. Remember, it didn't happen. But look at Solana now at 19.54. If I would have bought Solana when it was at $7, I would nearly have triple my money now, right? Matic. I remember when Matic was, $1.70. Now it's 55 cents. Shiba Inu, right? SHIB is at a good price right now, which should mean I should be dollar cost averaging. That's the one that I'm mainly focused on, right? XLM, I purchased some XLM recently when it pumped. It is what it is. It went to 16 cents. I think I bought it at 12 to 15 cents, and now it's back to 12 cents, okay? Now let's talk about some news, guys, that I missed in August that I found very interesting. So Vitalik Buterin cashes out over 1 million Ethereum before anticipated dip to 1,000, okay? Now, there's some anticipation that Ethereum might go down to 1,000 or lower. If that's the case, hey, I remember when the FTX crash happened and Ethereum went down to $800. And I was talking about how that is a good price. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just going off of what I see. But that was a good price to look at when it was $800. And once again, me being greedy, I was saying that, hey, if it goes to 500, I'm buying, right? But, okay, what is going on with the internet? Hold on one second, guys. Let me refresh. Vitalik cashing out 1 million Ethereum in anticipation to ETH dropping to $1,000, right? This was news that I heard about this news, but I didn't think it was important. I didn't think it would be a big deal. Why? Because of the fact that if Ethereum goes down, let's say to $1,000 or lower, right? Then it makes sense. Because even Vitalik is an investor. So what it means is that he can then take the money and buy Ethereum at a lower price. Or Vitalik may have some overhead that he's trying to pay for, or he's taking profits. I don't know. I don't think that Vitalik taking $1 million is a big deal. I would be worried if Vitalik was taking $100 million out. You know what I'm saying? Vitalik is supposedly a billionaire. So him taking $1 million out, who cares, right? I don't know why that is big news. For all we know, it could be just money that he's taken out to cover some overhead or take his mom on a nice vacation. Who knows? But I will say this. If Ethereum does go down to $1,000 or less, that'll be a great place to pick it up, right? But once again, this is not big news. So guys, really quickly, Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, the crypto community has a love-hate relationship with Andrew Tate. When Andrew Tate talks well of crypto, right? Everybody loves Andrew Tate. They put him on Finbold. They put him on these articles, different crypto platform articles, right? When Andrew Tate talks bad, then everybody wants to ignore it or pretend like it doesn't happen. But Andrew Tate tweeted this yesterday. He's my brain estimating the SEC approval of BTC ETF, Matrix Attack Court, TRW and TWR. Why? I don't even know what those are. Those acronyms. I don't even know what they are. 22 properties and 50 cars to maintain. Jet and yacht to maintain. 117 staff. Quarterly appraisals, etc., etc. My woman brain. I want to go spa. Can we go spa? You know, spa like, you know, get a massage and all of that. Guys, here's the thing. Andrew Tate, while I don't agree with some of his content, particularly with the webcam girls and the pimping stuff, when it comes to his knowledge, when it comes to fractional reserve banking, and even like the some of the intricacies of cryptocurrencies, right? Andrew Tate understands blockchain. He does. But there's some stuff that Andrew Tate has mentioned that I had to correct him, right, publicly, by making response videos. But I do think that the fact Andrew Tate is financially, this guy does know his stuff. If you listen to his stuff where he talks about the global banking system and real estate and how money works and crypto, he does know his stuff for the most part. He does. He knows what he's talking about, right? And so the fact that Andrew Tate can make a tweet where he's thinking about, hey, when is this SEC approval of BTC ETF happening, and that it then gets picked up by these articles, that's kind of a big deal. It's very interesting to me, right? Because of the fact that I do think that Andrew Tate, we need somebody telling these young men, particularly Gen Z men, that, you know, to really get to that top G level that a lot of these young men aspire to, I think they should aspire to become men of the faith, men of God, men of Jesus Christ. That's me personally. But to get to that level of where you are financially independent, financially free, right? You have to understand how fractional reserve banking works, how the global system works financially. You have to understand blockchain and cryptocurrencies. And the fact that Andrew Tate mentions that, I think, is dope. Unfortunately, a lot of people tend to pay more attention to Andrew Tate when he's talking about women and his experiences with women, instead of when he's talking about important topics, when he's talking about financial matters, as I've just mentioned, right? And so the reality is that Tate is a guy who, for the most part, when it comes to crypto and blockchain, he gets it. And he gets it extremely well, right? The part that he does get. I mean, this is a guy who flipped 600,000 allegedly to 12 million. And so this guy gets it. And the reality is that a lot of men, even these Andrew Tate followers, I don't know if they're aware that CBDCs are coming. And maybe Andrew's telling him. I haven't heard Andrew talk about CBDCs. I'm pretty sure he may have. I don't know. But CBDCs are coming. And when CBDCs are coming, you're not going to be worried about what women are doing or big booty Keisha is doing or big booty Becky is doing. You're going to be worried about you. You know what I mean? Okay, guys. So here's an article, and I'm just going to fly through it really quickly, of 5 metaverse altcoins that could explode in value in September. Now, I read this article, and this article doesn't really give a catalyst. It just mentions the low prices. You look at sand, for example, right? Sand is at 30 cents. Last time I checked, it's at 24 cents, right? And, you know, metaverse coins are coins, guys, that I was talking about a lot in 2021 because I do think that metaverse coins are going to be the big thing. And I think that there's going to be a lot of integration with metaverse types of crypto that'll utilize AI, particularly for their products, right? But you look at Sand, for example, it's at 30 cents right now. It's at an all-time high was 8.35. So that's something interesting to note. Decentraland Mana is down to 24 cents, I believe. Let's take a look at Mana. And now here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Sandbox, Mana, Axie Infinity, Render, these are the coins that I mentioned. I'm not in any of these coins. The only coin on this list is Engine Coin. And for those who haven't seen my breakdown, I did do a breakdown on YouTube that's still on my channel on these coins. All these coins that the article is listing, I already talked about these coins 2 years ago, right? So nothing has changed. So Mana is 29 cents now, all-time high 587. Can it go back to these numbers? I don't see why not. I don't see why it can't go 2x past it, right? But for me personally, what I'm looking at when I look at metaverse coins, and then here you see Render, right, as a 136, Axie Infinity at 453, Engine Coin, right? What I'm looking at particularly is the utility of these cryptos. So we know Axie Infinity has a game that's very popular in Nigeria and in the Philippines, right? But I'm looking at utility. Will these cryptos in the next, within the next 5 years, will they have utility where the masses will pick them up? Axie Infinity, as we know, is a play to earn type of crypto. Will it have the utility where now people can make monthly income? We know Nigeria and the Philippines, that's already been done, where people were making double their income. The average income in Nigeria is, and I could be wrong, but 300 US, right? And people were making double that on Axie. The average income in the Philippines was like 150 US, and people were making double that. So can these be feasible in regards to lasting long term? And right now, the prices for a lot of these coins are low. And unfortunately, as I said, nobody cares right now, right? Me personally, the only coin I have is Engine Coin. And I like the project a lot. I like what they're doing. Let's take a look at Engine Coin here real quick, right? Because these metaverse coins, it was the tale of metaverse last year. Engine Coin is 23 cents, all-time high is 483, right? You look at the max supply is 1 billion. It can certainly go back up to 483 and double that. Can Axie Infinity go back to its previous all-time high? I believe so. I genuinely believe Axie Infinity can go back to 164 or even possibly higher than that, right? It's just at this point, it's very simple that we are not in a bull condition. We don't have that, right? So I do think that once the utility of these coins continue to improve, and then they're able to massively scale it, meaning that they make it more feasible for the everyday user to partake in these projects for their video games or computer games or what have you, it's gonna catapult some of these coins, right? Now, out of those 5, will all 5 make it? I don't know. But I do think that out of the front runners that we have right now, these are definitely the 5 best front runners, right? For all we know, 10 years from now, these coins are irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Or one of these coins will make it, right? Regardless, when we're talking about the metaverse currently, these coins are the ones that people are talking about. Now, make no mistake, I do think 10 years from now, there will be other metaverse projects coming out that are are not even in fruition yet, meaning they haven't even been created yet. Or there's a metaverse coin or project right now where somebody's in their basement and they're cooking up a meme project, and that's going to be the project that's going to catch people off guard in 2025 or 2030. You know, there's always that one crypto, it's usually more than one, but there's always that one project that nobody sees coming that just blows people out of the water. You know, was Axie Infinity, Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, for example, in the last bull run. The bull run before that, you know, was XRP. And, you know, you have a lot of these projects, right? Some of these projects, then, you never hear from again. Some of these projects, then, they do stick around, okay? Really quickly, guys, another Pepe whale sold. Not much to say here, but it's just an article about how a Pepe whale sold, you know, 54x's profit. Once again, Pepe has had a lot of bad news lately. And look, if you believe in Pepe, hey, make sure to take profits in the next bull run. But don't be one of those people waiting for it to hit 10 billion. Have a plan. And once again, this is not financial advice. The only thing I'm saying is have a plan to make sure that you're taking profits before it even gets there. That's all I got to say. Okay. Now, in regards to XRP, guys, there's a lot of bullishness with XRP. Once again, these analysts and influencers, right? Everybody's an analyst on Twitter, right? But these, including me, right? I'm not an analyst. I'm not. I'm just making jokes. But XRP, right? They're talking about a bull run happening because it didn't hit its previous all-time high, and the fact that whales are accumulating, and a partial victory, right? So guys, XRP still news coming out with partnerships as well. XRP is one that I will continue to talk about. Obviously, I've been talking about XRP a lot this summer. You will also be hearing me talk about XDC and XLM more, along with Algo and HBAR. I'm going to be doing a video for that coming up this week, doing some breakdowns on some ISOs and other projects that I'm looking at, okay? And guys, Shiba Inu, ChatGPT has a price prediction. Basically, it predicted, you know, nothing crazy, that Shiba will do okay in 2024 and that 2028 could lead to substantial gains. Now, Google Bart's predictions were a bit more interesting to me. Google Bart's prediction predicts that, you know, Shiba Inu next year will be around the 21 marker to the 28 marker. It gave numbers that by 2050, SHIB will be at 0.00097. And guys, let me say this. As soon as I saw this, I said, look, if we don't see these 0.00097 at the end of 2024 or before 2024 is done, that means Shibarium failed, okay? Because we have the next halving coming up. We know that. And so what I'm expecting is with the next halving coming up, it's going to flood money back into crypto. And Shibarium then should, you know, in 2024, it should start rocking and firing at all cylinders. But honestly, if it takes until 2050 to get to that 0.00097, that means that something drastically happened to Shiba or the crypto market, or Shibarium just, I don't know, bombed. You know, we know that the presentation with Shibarium wasn't the best. And so I'm still very positive on SHIB. And I think that Shiba is the only coin that I'm currently dollar cost averaging, along with XRP, that I've been dollar cost averaging. I think that SHIB could have a phenomenal month and possibly end of the year. I'm looking at September the 15th, right? So I'm buying Shiba. Reason why is, like I said, the catalyst is Shibarium. In this market, because we know that September historically is a bad market for Bitcoin, I do think that Shibarium can change the narrative for itself. Why? Because of Shibarium. Excuse me, I didn't mean to say Shibarium can change the narrative for itself, but Shiba Inu can change the narrative for itself because of Shibarium, right? Here we see the reds that Bitcoin had. I showed that earlier. And I do think that if there's some positive Shibarium news that comes out this month, or Shibarium starts to gain more utility and adoption, FOMO will kick in. And FOMO is always the X factor that a lot of people are dismissive of. That's one of the reasons why you got to take these price predictions with a grain of salt, because that 0.00097, we could see that the end of this year. We could see it the end of next year. Or it may take till 2025, right? Why? Because FOMO is a real thing. And now that Shiba Inu has a catalyst to be able to burn tokens, that should allow us to see some of these numbers. That these are numbers are very, very extremely conservative, which is nothing wrong with that. I think we have to have realistic numbers. But if Shibarium does what it's supposed to do, we should be looking at, we should be looking at takeoff, okay? Now, guys, I also want to say really quickly that the Daily Hodl put this news out on September the 2nd that Colorado enables crypto payments via PayPal for driver's license and vehicle registration renewals. Guys, this is huge news. So basically, you can use PayPal to pay for your new driver's license in Colorado with Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin via PayPal, right? In 2018 or 2019, this would have gone viral. Guys, I did not hear about this. And I'm subscribed to a lot of YouTubers. You guys, no, excuse me. I don't just watch myself. I watch other people too. Nobody talked about this. This is a huge catalyst in regards to utility and adoption, right? And nobody talked about it. It's kind of like this was just on the back page of the news. And this is what the type of news that we've been getting, guys, on a weekly or monthly basis, where companies or institutions are adopting or utilizing crypto or accepting it as a form of payment, and it kind of gets dismissed. Nobody cares. I think that people, everybody's waiting for the Amazon news, I guess. I think that'll come out maybe in a year or two, right? If we don't hear Amazon and crypto in 2025, that means something went wrong. But I know if it was Amazon, it would have been, the market would have gone crazy, right? So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, really, the main important part is, everybody is looking at these high numbers and nobody wants to invest in crypto now. And I'll leave you with this. Analyst says everyone, including their mothers, will want Bitcoin only at 300K. So what this guy is predicting is that, and he's already kind of right, that right now is a good time to buy crypto. However, people are not going to be interested until price skyrockets to 100K, 200K, or even maybe 300K. Everyone, including their mother, will want to buy crypto. And this is unfortunate, but this is true. I've been around for 2 bull runs. I see it all the time. The first bull run, I kind of, I got in it in 2017, so I kind of had my head on a swivel. I didn't even know what was going on. 2021, when that bull run happened, all of a sudden, people that I knew for years, they were talking about getting into crypto, when it was Bitcoin was 50 or 60K, etc. A lot of those people that got into crypto now, they're not, from those people, they either got out or they don't care anymore, right? They just don't care anymore. A lot of people have lost faith. I saw friends put in their life savings into crypto, at the top, or, when it fell off, and now they're kind of like, then they had to sell at a loss because they needed that money, And unfortunately, a lot of people, even if Bitcoin, let's say, goes to 70, 80, 90,000, a lot of people are going to be skeptical. They're going to be like, eh. And then let's say Bitcoin goes to 100,000, that's when they're going to buy, and that's probably when it's going to be the top. When Bitcoin goes to 110, 120, 130, 140, they're going to look at it like, okay. Then when it hits 150, they're going to buy, and that's going to be the top. It's unfortunate, but it's a cycle that repeats itself. And this is where technical analysts, if they know what they're doing during the bull market, this is where they win, because they understand the human psychology of when money comes in and when people will pump something and they can cash out. Now, can technical analysis know everything? No. There's been a lot of TA guys that have been wrong in the past, or wrong about a coin, or wrong about a situation. However, this is why in a bull run, TA is going to be so important, because everybody was waiting for 100K Bitcoin, And then you had some TA guys like Backchain Backer, shout out to him, saying, hey, 70,000 is probably going to be the top, guys. And nobody wanted to listen to that, right? But the reality is right now, nobody cares about Bitcoin. Nobody cares about crypto. We have people talking about 100,000 Bitcoin, 200,000. I just saw Michael Saylor talking about Bitcoin will, in the future, go up to $100 million. I mean, people just talking crazy, right? But nobody's hearing it. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of March 2020 when Bitcoin went down to 5,000 and everybody said it was done. It was finished. It was done. And then what did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin then, within about a little over a year, went from 5,000 to 69,000. After, remember, March 2020, if you were around, oh, it's dead, it's finished. It went down to 5,000. Ethereum was at 120. I remember because I bought some ETH at the time. Thank God. I wish I would have bought more. But everybody said it was done. And then what happened? Boom, we ripped up. Big bull market. I remember buying that ETH in March 2020. And then, I was just doing my thing in life. I come back in September and Bitcoin went from 5,000 to 11,000. Now, guys, at that time, that was huge. And then fast forward, September to December, Bitcoin went to 25,000 and then so forth. And once again, guys, this is going to happen in stages where, people are going to hear about it, but they're not going to be interested. And now, if you're in the market now, if you're watching this video now, then that lets me know you're a trendsetter. You're part of the top 10%. Because if you're watching this video now, it tells me that you're taking this seriously. Because at the end of the day, when I saw people making hundreds of thousands of dollars and even millions of dollars, right? And really, I asked those people, right, how did you get from a 9-to-5 to become a millionaire? And they said, Solo, I was watching your videos and I was dollar cost averaging like crazy. I had one brother tell me, yo, I was dollar cost averaging like crazy. Another brother said, yo, I got into Doge early. And that's another thing, guys. With some of these projects, it's not always about you can, I put in 10,000 in Pepe and I made 10 million. That doesn't mean you're a genius. It just meant that you were early. And with these coins, now I just showed you how Axie Infinity, Engine Coin, Sand, Mana, all these coins are down. You're in a position that you're early still for the next bull run. That's how you should be thinking. You should, your strategy should be, what do I want to do the next bull run? Because it amazes me how 2021 just happened 2 years ago and people already act like it didn't happen or 2021 was 10 years ago. Guys, 2021, it may feel like it was 10 years ago. And I know that it feels like it, but it was only 2 years ago, guys. Right? And another thing is, you look at XRP, it's 50 cents. If XRP goes to its all-time high, and then we expect XRP to hit $1,000 within the next 2 years, right? I mean, come on, man. So at this point, I really, at this point, I've seen 2 bull runs. The first bull run, I remember I was arguing with people, calling me a scammer, this and that. The second bull run, people are arguing with me about utility adoption and still arguing about it if it's a scam. You know what the scam is? When CBDC comes around and the person that was calling crypto a scam then has no choice but to use CBDC. That is going to be the biggest scam in the history of mankind, is going to be CBDCs. Literally, they're going to tell you what you can buy, what you can sell, and they're going to tell you how much money you can have. That is going to be the biggest scam ever. And there's going to be a lot of people, guys, and you'll see this. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, yo, I remember hearing about Bitcoin when it was 25,000 or 30,000 or 40,000, or even remember when it went down to 15,000 earlier this year, and they didn't buy. And some of these people are not even skeptics of crypto, but they're people that are people that are in crypto, but they got burned out. And it happens. I'm not trying to crap on them for that. It happens. You get burnt out. It happens. That's why I always tell you guys, hey, take a break. Because me as well, I take breaks. That doesn't mean that and I tell you guys this, I'm very transparent with you guys. I tell you guys this all the time. I take breaks all the time because I need it for my mental health. And you can drive yourself insane just paying attention to the markets all day, looking at your wallets all day, and hoping that the market will go up, or going on Twitter and trying to find some news or some shit coin that you can jump into and make some money just for it to rug. Listen, been there, done that, right? Never on Twitter, guys. Not on Twitter, but you guys get the point I'm trying to make. Don't ever jump on a meme coin because you heard about it on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And if you do hear about it, do your own research. But at the end of the day, guys, September, I'm expecting SHIB to have a decent month. I can't say the rest of the market. Maybe XRP, I don't know, because there's been a lot of accumulation, right? Bitcoin, I'm not holding my breath. I do think December will be interesting because of the bullishness that may possibly happen for Bitcoin halving going into 2024. But once again, I don't know. But I do think that we're going to go down first before we go up. That's just my opinion. And if we do go up, it might be a fake out. And I'm saying if we go up now from 26,000 to maybe 30,000 or 35,000, nah, that's not a bull run to me. That's a fake out, you know? But anyway, guys, God bless. Hope y'all have a great Labor Day weekend. It's your boy Jones, and I'm out.